Welcome back to another episode of Lucid Intentions. I just got done watching the USA hockey game, and I really think we got a good chance of winning the gold this year, as long as Ryan Miller stays on the bench so he can't get bent over by Sidney Crosby with a nice fluke goal. We've been watching True Detective lately. I don't know if anybody else has seen the show. It's a pretty big hit, so I'm guessing most of you have. But if you're not watching it, it's definitely something you want to get into and start checking out. It's one of those rabbit hole shows where the more you watch it, the more you pay attention, the more you start noticing. But even more than that, it's one of those things that the more you start searching out information, the more you find out there's tons and tons of things that you completely missed altogether. There was a blog article shared recently on Facebook that's on our Just Drive page about the literary references in True Detective. And the biggest one is from Robert Chambers in a little known book called The King in Yellow from right around the turn of the 1900s, I think is when the book was published. That's actually influenced quite a few famous authors and people that have come after him, like Lovecraft and many others. But the interesting part about it is that The King in Yellow is this play where apparently when you get to the second act of the play, truths about the universe and the world are revealed that makes the audience, the reader, the viewer go mad, and they're never the same and can never regain their sanity after that. And this extreme awareness of truth is a fascinating storyline and thread that many of these authors and people that have come afterwards have been inspired by. And it's the kind of rabbit hole that I stumbled down that I'm hoping to create with Just Drive, in the sense where on the surface it's a great, interesting story, but there's so much more to it and there's so many more layers to it that the farther you dig, hopefully the more it'll send you searching for information elsewhere, and you'll find out more about the world we live in and the hidden realities that surround all of us. But more importantly, my searching and stumbling across The King in Yellow and all the influences that it has inspired, it made me realize that it's very symbolic of my kind of philosophies and outlook on storytelling that might be subconscious, but it's starting to become more and more of a conscious thing that I think about and expand upon. But this concept of ultimate truth, a truth that is so profound and powerful that it can neither be denied nor accepted, and nothing will ever be the same once you know this truth. And that's kind of a reality that I feel like is all around me and how I see the world and how I perceive things. Very much like the Matthew McConaughey character in True Detective. He sees no reason for optimism because he knows what the truth is and how things are ultimately going to work out and the way it all kind of connects together, and it's out of his control. It's beyond him, and all he can do is accept it, and no amount of changing or fighting it will alter the end result. And that's kind of an underlying story or theme throughout many of the scripts I've written. And it's one of those themes that I didn't even realize myself was there until reflection through other people's art and stories. If you want to check out that article about True Detective, visit our Just Drive Facebook page, and you can read more about True Detective. And if you're not watching it, it's on HBO, and you need to get there. HBO Go is a good way to go. We've had a lot of good developments this week in Just Drive. There's a few casting movements that we've had recently that I'll let Andrea talk a little bit more about. We can't go into too much detail yet because it's in the early stages, but there are some exciting things happening. But more importantly, we're still looking for a co-production and a partner in producing Just Drive. So we reached out to a company recently that was very excited. They read the script, they got back to us, they offered their Rolodex of investors, and pretty much couldn't have been more excited to work with us. And I should have took that as a red alert. There were some other small signs on their website and things like that I should have took as warning signs. But honestly, I was too excited at the prospect and their actual sincerity of reading the script when they said they were going to, that I denied the clues and the experience that I have to know that there was probably a ulterior motive at play. And instead, we set up a meeting, went to visit them, and sat down for a half of strawberry smoothie to talk it all over. And right from the get-go, the dreaded word packages kept coming up. Well, we've got this package, and we've got a bigger package, and ultimately we've got this full, all-encompassing package that we can offer you. And at that point in time, the question that I should have asked long before wasting our time taking 3 buses all the way across town to go to Crave, a little cafe, to meet this person, was your packages. They sound like they have price tags attached to them. Why, yes, they do. We've got this little one for $750 that'll take your business plan that you already have, and it'll reword it and reorganize it a little bit and kind of compress it down to a new business plan. We can charge you $750 for that, or for $2,500, we can take your project, pitch it to our Rolodex of investors, and see what happens. If they invest it, great. If not, well, we tried. There's no guarantees after all. And the irony is, okay, well, if you guys get our movie funded, what do you get on the back end? What do you get out of it? Oh, we don't want any back end. We just get the $2,500, and then if these people fund your movie, it's whatever deal you work out with them. Okay. So if you actually had investors that were interested in financing movies, don't you think it would be in their best interest, in your best interest, to, I don't know, screen the films that come by and not just throw them all at the wall and stick? But then again, you have no attachment to the projects they decide to fund. So if they decide to fund a loser, it's not really your fault and there's no consequences, and you can keep collecting $2,500 from whoever else is willing to give it to you, while again throwing the projects at the same wall, seeing if they stick or not. But what doesn't make sense to me is if these investors really, really, really could possibly fund a movie, then why wouldn't you want some back-end participation in that? Why wouldn't you want some sort of compensation for connecting that all together? It seems a bit short-sighted to me to just take $2,500 when, if you really could get a project funded, you could make so much more off of the back end and the deal making and the facilitating of those two agreements. It seems to me like if you had investors that could actually fund movies, that you should be screening them out and then only taking on projects that you know your investors are going to want. They're basically giving you pre-approval process for you to pick and choose what films, what scripts they're going to finance. That seems like the more professional, logical reason. And then for picking the right projects and representing these financial investors, you get your percentage. You get your cut of the film without any risk, without your money being involved, and all you're really doing is finding good scripts for somebody that wants to put in money. But I don't really think you have that kind of investors. I think you have a group of people that said, yeah, sure, you can throw me projects in that. If I go with it, I go with it. If I don't, I don't. But at least you're collecting $2,500 every time. That's what I think it was. So we politely said, thank you for your time, and if you have any interest in a co-production relationship wherein you would bring the financing and we would bring everything else, a traditional arrangement, we're happy to discuss that further. But if not, we're not going to pay somebody to be a part of a golden opportunity. It just does not make sense. And one of the first things they teach you in this industry is if you're paying up front for people that say they can get you money or get you casting or can do this or that for your career, then you're probably getting ripped off and you're a sucker. Nobody pays up front for those type of things. And that makes me even more concerned at people that know that that's the golden rule in the industry, and they know that pretty much everybody in this town, the first thing they learn is if they're charging money up front, it's probably a scam. So if you decide to adapt that business model, whether you are a scam or you're not a scam, you're either an idiot that doesn't know rule number 1, or you're most likely a scam because you're now profiling yourself and putting yourself in the scam category knowingly. So why else would someone adapt that business model if it wasn't for nefarious purposes? Before we wrap up Lucid Intentions, I also want to tell you guys that are local in the San Fernando Valley that I believe it's March 15th. We're going to be having a booth at the San Fernando Valley Comic Convention. We'll be giving away some free DVDs. We'll also be having a Tim the Head contest. If you haven't checked out on our website and some of the other spots, what we do is every time we do a public appearance, we bring our decapitated head with us, Tim the Head, and we have people take pictures with him. And we have a contest for whoever has the best pictures with Tim, and the fans vote on it. We give them a DVD package. So we're going to be doing that at this convention like we do with all the other ones. And we'll be adding those photos to our Tim the Head gallery of characters and everything else. If you'd like a free slideshow of the Tim the Head photos that we've taken from all around the country and all the different characters that we've met and Comic-Con and cosplay characters, go to gratwickproductions.com and sign up for our newsletter, and we give you a free download. It's a half-hour long, and it's a photo gallery set to the score of The Perfect House. It makes a great screensaver. It makes a cool thing to throw up on your screen and leave in the background while you're working, and we're giving it out free. And coming soon, we're going to have a special Comic-Con version of that video for free. So please subscribe to our Gratwick Films YouTube channel and check out other Lucid Intentions and more. Thanks for watching.